Hello everyone. This video walks through completing Packet Tracer Assignment 3.5.3.4, Configure and Verify eBGP. This Packet Tracer is a part of the Cisco R&S Connecting Networks version 6 curriculum. Now, before we get to this lab, hopefully you've completed the GRE labs in Chapter 3 for the Connecting Networks curriculum. And now we get to routing protocols, a dynamic routing protocol that spans different networks. So all the dynamic routing protocols we've learned before, like OSPF, RIP, eIGRP, they're all interior gateway protocols, meaning it's going to be on our own networks to route traffic, stuff that we control, ISPs and their customers, right? But what about between ISP to ISP, internet service provider to internet service provider, or large company to large company, like from Suddenlink or CenturyLink to YouTube, right? YouTube's got a massive network, and you're probably watching this video on YouTube, right? Or you're streaming Netflix. So they need a protocol to communicate too. RIP, if you tried to do that, remember RIP has a lot of shortcomings. Like 16 hops away is infinity, so more than 15 is not even reachable. OSPF, it has its shortcomings too. It tries to draw out a map, but trying to draw out a map between of your network between that many routers gets a little cumbersome. Then eIGRP, same thing. So with BGP, and we're going to specifically configure exterior BGP. Which is your border gateway protocol, is an exterior gateway protocol that we're going to share information between autonomous systems, or like ISP to ISP, large company to large company, or somebody that really provides a lot of content out there on the web. So we've got our diagram here. Be careful, because if you move those boxes, they will move. So we got like Acme's network. It has its own autonomous system here. Then maybe we got like the backbone of the internet service provider. And then we got some other network over here. Let's just say that's like Netflix over here, right? And we want to stream some Netflix from these PCs, or to these PCs from this server over here. But we got to have connectivity to be able to do that. So in the lab, they have you configure eBGP from router to router, edge to edge. Okay, that's where you want to configure. Interior, you don't need to configure BGP from ISP1 to ISP2, right? That would be useless. This goes from autonomous system to autonomous system, so usually from edge router to edge router, okay? You would not want to use BGP when there's usually like a single connection from one home to another or something like that. Even though it's recommended for some unusual situations, that's not what you would want to do. Or if you just don't understand BGP and trying to configure it. Okay, so in our lab, we've got three kind of main commands that you want to be able to enter each time you do it. So the first one is you advertise your autonomous system number. Okay, that's what you configure first. Then you put whatever the autonomous system number of your neighbor is, coupled with its IP address. Then you're going to advertise the network that you have, almost like our old routing protocols. All right, so let's go to Acme 1. Now, I know they tell you what the stuff to do, but I'm going to kind of explain it more in a little bit better explanation first about why we're doing it. So let's go to configuration mode. And the first thing, again, I said was you're going to do router BGP, and then you're going to advertise your own autonomous system number. So here it's 65,001. So I'm going to put 65001. Okay, so router BGP 65001. Now I'm going to do my neighbor. So neighbor, and you want to go grab the IP address of serial 000 on ISP1. Serial 000 on ISP1 is 1.1.1.1. Okay, so that's my neighbor that's directly connected to me. And then I'm going to do remote -AS. So what is my remote autonomous system number? For this one is 65,003. So 65003. And you see it's up. Okay. Then I want to advertise my own network. So they don't put a network statement in here. You could probably figure it out based off of what is this, G00 is on Acme 1 and your other ones, but they do kind of tell you that. they tell you that the advertised network should be 192.168.0.0, and then you actually have to type the word mask in between here and then type out the subnet mask. Now remember too, if you didn't know that and you knew this first part, just hit a question mark and it tells you what to type, right? Mask, and then what is it? So, okay. So we got that functional on that side. So basically we put the neighbor. Now our ISP would have to have its own information put in there as well, but it already has it configured. So we're good to go there. So router BGP, our local autonomous system number. Then what is our neighbor's IP address and their remote autonomous system number? Then I need to advertise my own network, okay, and subnet mask. Okay. Now let's go over to the other side. Now they want you to do other company to ISP2. So ISP1 and ISP2 have their end of stuff configured. They got some sharing information here, but we want to configure it between other company and ISP2. So we're going to basically do the same command structure. So we'll do router BGP. My local autonomous system number is 65,002. So 65002. Then I'm going to put my neighbor. My neighbor is whatever address is assigned to S000 on the ISP2, and that would be 1.1.1.9. So I'm going to put that in there. Neighbor 1.1.1.9. Remote AS is 65,003. So 65003. You see it changed the up. It would not change the up if the other end was not configured, you know, with the correct information as well. And then lastly, I'm going to advertise my network. So I'm going to do network. And again, it doesn't have a network statement in there, but you could probably figure it out on the other side of the LAN connected to other company one. And that one's going to be, and they tell you 172.16.10.0. mask 255.255.255.0. And again, I know they tell you everything to use, but we also got to be, you know, self-reliant on being able to figure that information out from the information given in address and tables and what interface is connected where. So hopefully that gave you a little more insight on why you're doing it and not just like robotically going through the motions. Now, again, when you do a do show IP BGP summary, we should get here who our neighbor is. We should get our autonomous system number and all that information and whether it's actually, and this is the remote one, whether it's actually configured and exchanging information. Same thing over here. Do show IP BGP summary. Okay. Again, 1.1.1.1 is our neighbor. The autonomous system number, are we receiving and sending information? Here, if you did the same thing, even though I know we didn't configure something here, it should already be configured. Right? They got our neighbor and the autonomous system number and all that, the remote one. So we are good to go, right? We got 6 out of 6, which is 100. You kind of see how we're configuring it on the border routers. That's why this is a border gateway protocol. So this is one that you would see from major company to major company, like a service provider or a large internet provider or something like that, to be able to communicate with each other kind of across the backbone of the internet. So we're just slowly getting bigger and bigger with our network connectivity. All right, so hopefully that helps you understand kind of how we configure BGP.